Hello, welcome to Just the Dis. My name is Brian, and we talk about Blu-rays here. And as you can see, I have next to me for this video the Columbia Noir #2 box set, and that is from Indicator in the UK. One of my favorite companies running right now, and a company that I feel like everybody should be paying attention to. And I think I've highlighted them a little bit on the channel, but I'd like to be highlighting them more. I think I've said that exact phrase even. But yeah, so their box sets. I mean, all their releases are fantastic, but their box sets in particular are, I think, among the best sets that you can get for collectors. They're just so well put together. The extras are so, I don't know, I just love what they do. So I'm going to take you through this set and just give you a sense of what the movies are and, you know, what the extras are, etc. But it's just a really great company that I would love if everybody was supporting because they're doing just incredible releases. So let me take the belly band off. That's that there. All their box sets have them. You can see some back here. So then we have basically, this is how the spines look in this set. It is very much a cardboard case set, and inside we have, well, the box itself is really sturdy stuff. I really like their boxes. I'm gonna put that up here, and then inside we have, well, I'll start with this really nice, this is not a booklet, this is a book. This is like a soft cover book for Columbia Noir #2. And inside that, you get a sense of essays. I mean, this is just a really excellent companion piece to the set itself. Let me find the table of contents so you get a sense of the essays. But they often have these booklets or books. I don't want to call this a booklet. That's not doing it justice. This is a really nice book that's included. Now, here are the movies. Okay. And as with the previous set, they come in these sort of cardboard, but it's a sturdy cardboard. So you can see the thickness there. Numbered on the side and everything. And then inside you get some additional artwork, and these are of course all region B locked, so you would need a multi-region player to play them. But let's start with this one. Okay, so we have Murder by Contract from 1958. This one stars Vince Edwards as this guy who just sort of decides he wants to be a hitman, and he finds a dude that he believes he can help him accomplish that, and you know, goes and has a meeting with him and basically says, I want to do this, and I'm committed to it. And so the guy says, well, you know, I'll call you. You just basically wait by the phone, and when I call you, if you pick up, then maybe we can talk and I'll set something up. If you don't answer the call, we're done. So Vince goes home, we see a passage of time, and he eventually gets the call, and he starts doing these small hit jobs for this guy. And he has a goal of $28,000. I can't remember, I think he wants to buy a house. And so you have his bank book, and he's like, I have, you know, $50 or some small amount of money, and each time he does a hit, he adds $500 to the hit book. So, you know, he goes along, he keeps getting little jobs. Then he gets one in California, in LA, and he has to go there and meet these other two dudes, and they show him that the target is a woman, and suddenly he's a little thrown by that. That's not something he was expecting or prepared for, and things kind of get complicated from that point on. But it's a pretty good Vince Edwards role. This is one of the better noirs in this set. and the one I was looking forward to checking out looks great. It has original mono audio. It has an audio commentary with film critic and writer Farhan Smith-Neme, who I'm a big fan of, and it's a good track. I got to listen to that, and I dug that. There's an intro by Martin Scorsese from 2014. I think that's from the DVD set, the Columbia Noir set that came out on DVD. But, just ported right over. It's a great little intro, about 5 minutes from Scorsese. And then you have something called Swedes in America, 1943, an 18-minute Oscar-nominated short film presented by Ingrid Bergman, detailing the influence of Swedish immigrants on the United States. Something called Violence is the Word for Curly, 1938, 18 minutes, a comedy short, Three Stooges short, which provide an early cinematography credit for Murder by Contract's prolific director of photography, Lucian Ballard, who also shot, off the top of my head, I know he shot The Killing, Stanley Kubrick's The Killing. I always think of him when I think of that movie. So that's cool. They'll do that kind of thing. They'll pair a short film as part of like a program, like a night at the movies kind of thing. But it also ties in this case, to the DP of this film. So that's kind of cool. And yeah, this is a world premiere on Blu-ray. Oh, there's a Larry Karaszewski trailer commentary. That's from Trailers from Hell on here. That's 3 minutes. So that's a really nice package for Murder by Contract. Next up, we have Framed. This one is from 1947. And this one was included in the Imprint Films Noir, Essential Noir #1 set that I've talked about on the channel before. So I've seen this film before. It's kind of about a truck driver who, played by Glenn Ford, who, pulls into this. He's also like a mining engineer, but he is working as a truck driver, and the opening is him like careening down this, mountainside road into this small town, and he almost crashes his car. He ends up hitting somebody and kind of getting in trouble because the brakes on the truck are completely out. And so he doesn't have a great, entree to the place. And he then goes to look for a job. He finds that there's a guy that he might be able to work for that's doing this mining operation, and it gets complicated because he becomes involved with this woman who works at a diner who has a boyfriend played by Barry Sullivan that, let's just say they have some bad plans, and I won't go too much further than that. But it's solid, it's a good Glenn Ford performance, a good, hard-boiled sort of character for Glenn Ford. Edgar Buchanan's in it, and this one has original mono audio, a commentary with author and critic Imogen Sarah Smith, who is great, always, and that's a new commentary from her. Something called The Steps of Age from 1951, a 25-minute dramatized documentary written and directed by Ben Maddow, screenwriter of Framed. So you have another of those little pairings that they're doing, demonstrating the challenges of growing old as seen through the eyes of a retired widow. Something called Up in Daisy's Penthouse, 1958, 17 minutes, another Three Stooges short, and they get mixed up in a murder plot, mistaken identity, gold digging, blonde, etc. And this is a UK premiere on Blu-ray because we know it was already out before, but some nice new extras in this version of Framed. Now, another Glenn Ford, we have Affair in Trinidad, and this is from 1952. In this one, I believe Rita Hayworth plays a nightclub singer, and her husband is killed, but it's made to look like a suicide, but she suspects murder, and she sort of gets involved with trying to figure out what happened to him. Glenn Ford plays her brother-in-law, her now dead husband's brother, and he comes into town to help kind of figure things out. And more complications, as always, with a noir story. But it is Rita Hayworth and Glenn Ford. They were, of course, both great in Gilda. So you get to see them again in this. I remember liking this one. This has been a little while since I've seen this, but I remember digging it. Rita Hayworth is a unique presence, and one of the great Hollywood stars of all time. Just has that, I don't know, incredible feeling that you get when you see her on screen. She's just so dynamic. And again, Glenn Ford, always solid for me. So this one, original mono audio commentary with film historian and author Lee Gambin. That's brand new. And something called The End of the Affair from 2012. It's a 24-minute, it's Peter Ford, the son of Glenn Ford, discussing the life and career of his father with the Film Noir Foundation dude Eddie Muller, the czar of noir. So that will be great, I'm sure. Something called Caribbean, 1951, 25 minutes, a documentary by Crown Film Unit, released the same year as Affair in Trinidad, depicting the life and culture in the West Indies, British Guiana, and British Honduras. And then something called Saved by the Bell, 1939, 18 minutes, island intrigue, and Senorita Rita spell trouble for the Three Stooges. So that's another short included here. I love the inclusion of those shorts. I think that's a neat little thing that they do. UK premiere on Blu-ray. Next we have Tight Spot. This has got a nice cast. Ginger Rogers, Edward G. Robinson, Brian Keith. I'm trying to remember this one. Ginger Rogers, I want to say, is a murder witness, and Edward G. Robinson is like a state's attorney that's trying to protect her. I want to say she's a murder or a witness in the case of a gangster crime, basically. And Brian Keith is the cop assigned to protect her. And there are folks in the mob group that would like her to be silenced. And yeah, I don't want to give away too much because there's some twists and turns in this one, but this is a good one. It's directed by the great Phil Carlson, who did movies like 99 River Street and Phoenix City Story and Kansas City Confidential. Just a great, noir director, a workman director that was just really solid. I know Scorsese's a big fan of Phoenix City Story, and I would imagine a big fan of basically all Phil Carlson's films. I think he comes up in the Scorsese Journey Through American Cinema. In fact, I'm sure he does. And I know Phoenix City Story comes up, but I feel like if this one doesn't come up, some other Phil Carlson films might. So he's somebody to watch if you're into noir and you haven't checked out any Phil Carlson. He is a solid dude. So anyway, this one is from 1955. Original mono audio again, audio commentary with writer and film historian Nora Fiore, who is great. She is, I heard another commentary of hers on, Footsteps. No, not Footsteps in the Fog. I'm forgetting. It's on the other noir set, but that one was really good, and I'm a big fan of hers. And I love that she's doing commentaries now. I want to say that's a relatively recent development, but she may have been doing it for a little bit. But I'm always excited to see her doing a new commentary track. So I haven't had a chance to listen to that one yet, but I'm a big fan of hers, so I can't wait to hear that. Something called The Senate Crime Investigations, 1951, 62 minutes, extracts from an unedited telerecordings of the U.S. Senate Committee's hearings into organized crime, originally compiled by the British Film Institute and presented in 4 parts, including footage of Virginia Hill, who partly inspired Tight Spot. So really cool programming material to go with the release, like Criterion would do. They're that level of putting these packages together. Something called Idiots Deluxe, which is another Stooges short, 18 minutes from 1945. Courtroom comedy short starring the Stooges and featuring an isolated hideaway beset by a deadly intruder, which may or may not come into play in Tight Spot. And this is a world premiere on Blu-ray. This one's never been available on Blu anywhere. So very excited to have more Phil Carlson on Blu-ray with Tight Spot. Just 2 more here. This is The Mob with Broderick Crawford. And this one it's sort of an undercover officer tracking waterfront corruption from California to New Orleans, and it's interesting. This is another one I haven't seen in a long time, and I don't really remember. It's directed by Robert Parrish, who I definitely have some films of his that I like. off the top of my head, I would say, you know, he did a film called, actually one of my favorite noir films is called Cry Danger, and that's with Dick Powell and Rhonda Fleming, and he directed that. I think that is a really underrated little noir. That's one of the big ones that I always remember from Robert Parrish. But so this one, I like Broderick Crawford, and I don't know too much of the other casts. And like I said, it's been a little while, but it's based on a magazine story called Waterfront, and it's from 1951. And this one has original mono audio commentary by filmmaker and writer Gina Telleroli, excuse me. The Guardian interview with Ernest Borgnine from 2001. And it's a 79-minute interview, archival audio recording of the much-loved character actor in conversation with Clyde Jevons at the National Film Theatre, London. And then Ernest Borgnine in conversation again in 2009, 49 minutes. And Borgnine is, of course, part of this cast, as well as Neville Brand, who I love, both those actors. So the second archival recording with the actor discussing his eventful career with Adrian Wooten at the BFI South Bank, London. So you get basically, between the two of them, 49 minutes and 79 minutes. You know, you're getting almost more than 2 hours of conversation with Ernest Borgnine. And he is quite the raconteur and has a lot of great stories. So I can't wait to check those out. And then you have something called Hot Stuff, which is another Three Stooges short from 1956. A trio of law enforcers, played by the Three Stooges, go undercover and assume blue-collar jobs in order to thwart criminal activities. And this is a world premiere on Blu-ray as well. So lastly, and this one I've always meant to see, but I've never had a chance to check it out, and it is called 711 Ocean Drive. It is from 1950. And this one is, I guess it's sort of a Horatio Alger parable, getting the film noir treatment, if you will, with Edmund O'Brien as a telephone technician who basically moves up the ladder of a syndicate, a crime syndicate, gambling empire, if you will, in Southern California, until he becomes waylaid / distracted by a married woman played by Joanne Drew, and his own greed kind of comes into play as well. And this one is sort of a rip from the headlines of 1950 organized crime hearings again, and it's laden with location sequences shot in Los Angeles, the Hoover Dam, and Palm Springs, including the famous Dollhouse watering hole on North Palm Canyon Drive. So, like I said, I'm very curious about this one. A telephone technician, Edmund O'Brien. This one's definitely played as part of some film noir festivals. I've seen it listed there, and it's always been elusive to me. This is another, well, I guess this is just a UK premiere on Blu-ray. This may have been available as part of one of the film noir sets from Kit Parker films in the States. But I don't believe it had any extras, and this one has now an audio commentary with author and film critic Glenn Kenny, who's always reliable. It has Diary of a Sergeant, 1945, 24 minutes, Joseph M. Newman's documentary, portrait of Harold Russell, a soldier who lost his hands during World War II and would later win an Oscar for his performance in The Best Years of Our Lives. So if you don't remember him, he's the guy with hooks for hands in Best Years of Our Lives and is incredible in that film. So this is a documentary all about him, which I'm very interested to see. And of course, Joseph M. Newman directed this film, so that's part of the tie-in there. And then something called Three Savvy People, another Three Stooges short. The trio play telephone repairmen who make an unexpected career switch. So again, you get your commentary, you get a little documentary, and you get film critic Glenn Kenny commenting on the film. So I think that's a really nice package for this one. So that's it. That is the Columbia Noir Collection number 2. And as I said, if you're into noir at all, if you're just into good Blu-ray packages, you really got to get on the Indicator train, because they, like I said, I'm not being hyperbolic when I say they're doing some of the best releases out there. I mean, as you can see, I've got a ton of them, and there's a reason for it. They're just really great sets put together with care and thought, and they're for collectors. They're just exactly what I would imagine anybody watching this channel would be interested in owning. And they have a number 3 set on the way, so keep an eye out for that. But definitely head over to powerhousefilms.co.uk to check out sort of their latest offerings. And check out that Columbia number 3 box set, what's in that, because again, I think their first one is great, this one's looking real good, and that one looks spectacular as well. And I don't know if there's going to be a 4th, but even if they close it with 3 great sets, they've done some incredible, I think, Criterion or above level work. So definitely check out some Indicator if you can. If you have bought some Indicator stuff, let me know in the comments below what you bought, and if you liked it. I hope you did. But definitely, as I said, keep them on your radar at all times. I think they have some new announcements coming very soon, and I always look forward to anything they have coming out, because it will be a great package. I just know it. I have a lot of cases where I own an Indicator Blu-ray, and I might own another version of it, but I will always hold on to the Indicator, because there are always supplements on those discs that will not be replicated anywhere else. So they're really special in that way. Anyway, enjoy Blu-rays, enjoy Indicator, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye-bye.